Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Tank be chopping, and I'm back with another haircut tutorial. Alright guys, so y'all see the length on my client right here. He wanted to keep all the length on top, so we keeping all that length. We just giving him a taper, and that's basically it. So let's get into it. Alright, so first thing is first, I am combing through the hair just because I want to comb it down, see how it's actually laying, you know, make sure it all lays the way it's supposed to lay. That way I know what the hair does while I'm cutting it. Alright, so what I'm doing right here, guys, I got my number 4 guard on my ergos, and all I'm doing is I'm basically debulking this taper area. And as y'all can see, I'm floating that clipper up and out. And this is basically what I do when I have clients who have longer hair on top and on the sides and they want to keep that length, but yet they still want to taper. I always take that number 4 and I debulk, you know, basically debulk the area that I'm going to be tapering. And for me, it works, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm doing it, and I'm letting y'all know how I do it. So this is basically, like I said, me debulking this side with that number 4 guard, just getting it all down to a level playing field. That way it's a little easier for me to taper up. So now I'm going in with my Evos. I'm setting in my initial bald guideline, and I am gonna be doing it in a half circle type shape. You know, I just feel that looks good for this, basically for this taper that I'm doing. You know, I wanna make sure I keep that C cup intact and make sure I have enough hair there. That way it looks nice and just nice and dark when I actually line it up. Now I'm going in with my Uno shaver, taking all that down the skin, and then we're gonna start tapering it up. So here is my clipper with the lever all the way open, and since, as y'all can see guys, we don't have a lot of room to work with, so I can't really go up as high as I normally would. So all I'm doing is I'm coming up about ½ an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch, not even. I'm like probably like 1/4 of an inch to ½ an inch is actually what I'm coming up, and I'm setting in my next guideline, and then I'm fading that down, meaning I came up first with the lever open, then I closed my lever halfway, came right below that, and then I adjusted my lever closed little by little and attacked that bottom line. Now I'm going in with my number 1 guard, lever is open, and I'm doing the same thing, guys. I'm trying to follow that same shape, and I'm coming up about ½ an inch. But as y'all can see, I'm using a flick out motion. You know, it's a pretty, you know, the flick out motion is pretty, you can see it really good, you know what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm doing it is because I want to make sure I fade this into the longer hair, and if I don't flick out, it's gonna leave a harsher line. So I'm really trying not to create harsh lines in this haircut. So basically I did the same thing here, guys. I started with my lever open, and then I just adjusted my lever closed to get that bottom line out. And now I'm going in with my 1½ guard, same thing, coming up another section using a flick out motion. Still trying to follow that same shape and trying to make sure this fades into this longer hair. And then once I'm done with that, I'm gonna close my lever as y'all just saw, and I'm gonna come right below what I just did. And now I'm gonna actually start some down fading technique. So y'all know I debulked it with the 4, so now I'm actually going in with the 3 guard. And I'm basically doing the same exact thing that I do with my number 4 guard, coming right below that though. And I am still flicking out, and I am floating this clipper up and out, just because I want to make sure that this, you know, the shorter hair ties into the longer hair. And as y'all can see, I got that comb in my hand. I just want to make sure that I continue to comb down this hair. That way we can see how it lays and see how it's actually going to look when we're done with the haircut. Now I'm going in with my 2 guard, coming up right below what I did with that number 3 guard. However, I'm coming above what I did with my 1½ guard open. Here I am with my 1/16 guard, and I did have some discrepancies in the bottom of that taper area, so I'm just using this guard where I see is needed, and I'm just adjusting that lever as needed to get rid of these dark areas and them dark spots and any lines that I may see. So now everything else that I will be doing is detail work. I basically went through all my initial steps. So basically what I'm doing now, guys, I'm just detailing it, going back, adjusting my guards. You know, a lot of time my refining area is between the 1½ guard, or I'm sorry, the 1/16 guard and the 1½ guard. That's most of the time where I feel I need to detail to make my fades come out, to make them look better. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously you can detail anywhere you feel is needed, but for some reason that 1/16 guard to the 1½ guard, I feel that that's like the biggest thing when it comes to haircut haircuts, that's like the biggest area that makes the biggest difference in your haircuts. So now what I'm doing here, guys, I'm spraying his hair with some hairspray just so it can lock some of that hair down, because obviously he has longer hair. So I'm spraying it with some hairspray, that way it locks his hair in place, so when I line it up, it makes it easier for me to line up. And I'm just putting the line on the back of this, where the back taper would be, behind the ear and, the neck area. And I just do this now because I feel it gives, this left side of the taper a more finished look. And for me, it makes it easier for me to, not necessarily to cut the hair, but for me, it just lets me see what I'm doing a little better and a little easier. And it helps me know where I need to detail at. So I'm gonna go ahead and line this part up behind the ear and above the ear. And then I'm gonna line up this side of the edge up on the front. And then I'll go back and detail some more if needed. And y'all know how I do in the front, guys. I like to start in the middle of the hairline, and I just work my way over little by little. Hitting that C cup. Y'all know, man, we're just trying to make these lines look good. Alright, so now that is done, I'm just going back in and detailing. I obviously saw some dark areas, in where the vertical bar was. So I'm just tapping that with a number 3 guard and then a number 2 guard, trying to get that all down, just so this haircut looks better and this taper just, it just flows better into this longer hair on top. And I don't know about y'all guys, but I feel that this taper looks pretty clean right now. Y'all gonna have to excuse that puh sound, but I feel like this taper looks pretty clean right now. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut so far in the comments, guys. I think I'm killing it. Y'all let me know. Alright, so now I'm going back in with my blending shears. This is a technique I like to use a lot. I'm just, clipping the ends of these hairs, like barely, like just where I feel that there's a little bulk or maybe some little lines that I may see. And for me, this seems to tie in, like when people have long hair on top, it ties in the taper or the fade a lot easier. And that's why I like to do it a lot. You can do it with just shears, but I just feel that the blending shears are a little more forgiving. Therefore, I do it with the blending shears just because I feel it's easier for me. So I'm trying to make this easier, not harder, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, now we on to the opposite side of this haircut, and we're doing the exact same thing that we did on the left side. We're doing on this side. So what I'm doing here is I am debulking the sides with that number 4 guard. And then I'm just basically gonna taper this up. So if any of y'all have cut this type of hair before, and like what I mean by this type of hair is, as y'all can see, this temple area is really small. Like he doesn't have a lot of room to work with. So you can't take these tapers too high. However, you don't want to keep them too low, because then it looks like they didn't even get a haircut. So I think that is the hardest part of this type of haircut, is you got to find that happy medium. You know what I'm saying? Like it can't be too high, but it can't be too low either. Now, I have given high tapers with, this type of, I guess you could say head shape, you know what I'm saying? And not that they don't look good, but I just feel like a regular mid taper looks really good on this type of hair, especially like how he has this length, you know what I'm saying? It's really dark on the sides, and then I got it down to skin, and I don't know, I just feel like the gradients level goes from super light to super dark, and I feel it looks really good, as a mid taper. And that's just my personal opinion. Obviously, everyone has different opinions about haircuts, but that's just the reason why me doing it this way, because honestly, he didn't come in saying, hey, I want a mid taper, low taper, or whatever. He just came in and he just trusted me to give him what I felt looked good. And he told me he wanted a taper, so I just had to do what I do and just make it look good. And remember, guys, when you're working with longer hair like this, you want to make sure you use a comb or a brush, preferably a comb, especially when it's longer like this. You want to use a comb to make sure you're combing down that hair. That way you can put it in place when you're done, cutting that little area that you're cutting. That way you can see how it's laying, see how it's looking, making sure it's actually faded in together, because there will be times where if you don't use that comb to comb everything down, it might look faded, but then when you go back and comb everything down, some things are just out of place, or it don't look as clean as it originally looked. So you want to make sure you're using a comb to comb that hair down.
Damn it, Tito. Another one?
All right, so as y'all can see here, guys, I'm using that hairspray. Just same thing that I did on the opposite side. I'm using it just to lock this hair down in place. That way it makes it easier for me to line up. And I know this taper currently, like on this side of the head, doesn't look as good as the opposite side looked, and that's cool. Like, I just wanted to go through my steps, line him up, and then I wanted to go back and see how it looked to detail it more. Like most of the time, guys, I just do my initial steps and then I move on to lining them up and then I go back in detail. Because if I sit there and try to mess with it for too long, sometimes you can overthink what you're doing, or like over detail too much, and then it won't look good. So I always like to put that line up in there, because sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes the haircut might not look that good, but once you put that line in there, you're like, oh, it really does look good. Because just the fact that I'm putting this line in there right now, to me, this taper looks even better. I mean, obviously I'm still going back in, I'm detailing it, but that's just a little excuse me, not COVID, I promise. But that's just a little nugget and a little tip that I want y'all to know, that sometimes if the haircut doesn't look done and you're still trying to mess with it for too long, but they still need that line up, go ahead and line them up first, and then it'll really let you know like what needs to be done to that side of the haircut. And once again, guys, when you're fading with this type of head shape, you want to make sure you're not taking anything too high, because it'll basically, I don't want to say ruin it, because obviously, I mean, I could fix it if needed, but it might ruin the cut, you know what I'm saying? Because then I'm gonna have to go to the opposite side and raise up the whole haircut. So you want to make sure you keep everything where it's at. So as you can see, I'm detailing it, but I am using a lot of the corners of my clipper. Like every guard that I put on there, I think I've used the corners of it, just because we have such a small area to work with, but we still want to make sure we're getting it as detailed as possible and as clean as possible. So we're gonna have to detail it to make sure we take this haircut to the next level. And y'all know your boy is all about taking these cuts to the next level. Alright guys, so here is the back taper. I'm gonna be doing the same exact thing that I did on the opposite sides. I'm debulking my number 4, and then all I'm gonna do is go ahead and taper this man up. But yeah, y'all make sure to go follow my boy Tito Beats on Instagram. Make sure to subscribe to his YouTube channel on YouTube. It's Tito Beats Productions. He's the one behind all these beats on all my videos, all my newer videos, because some of my older videos had someone else. But all my newer videos and most recent videos, it's all Tito Beats. So if y'all like these beats, y'all make sure to hit him up. Y'all talk to him about pricing and all that. If y'all like any of these tools that I'm using, I am using nothing but Gamma tools in this video. So if y'all like any of these tools that y'all see, y'all can actually go over to their website. Pick the tools you want and then use my discount code TANK10 when you check out, and you'll save yourself a little bit of money. Also, guys, if you ain't already subscribed to this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button one time for your boy. I'm trying to do numbers. I can't even speak properly right now, but I'm trying to do numbers, man. Y'all subscribe if you're not subscribed. Tell your friend to subscribe. Tell your mom to subscribe. Your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife. Y'all just tell everyone to subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to do numbers, and I'm putting out great content for y'all guys. So just share this with your friends. Share this with your fellow barbers. Share this with anyone who is interested in cutting hair, and let's move these numbers. Because look, I promise y'all think I'm playing, but I promise y'all I'm trying to give away a lot of stuff. Like I have a bunch of clippers that I need to give away. And also, I'm gonna start actually purchasing new clippers with my personal money. I want to purchase brand new clippers and give those away. So once we start moving that needle a little more, I'm almost at about 3K subscribers. But once I get to about 5K, I'm gonna start buying like brand new equipment, and I'll be giving that away. But I need y'all to help move these. I need y'all to help me get these numbers up. So let's go. All right, now we're moving on to the finisher. We finishing off this haircut with the razor work, guys. I'm just going over everything I did with the trimmers. We hitting all that up with the razor just to make sure to make these lines look as crisp as possible. And then we are gonna add some enhancements just to make these lines pop a little more. So here I am going in with my Tomb 45. No, I'm lying. I'm actually using the Slay Sauce from Slay Apparel line, but I am using the Sean Cuts Hair enhancement card, and I am using the Tomb 45 compressor. All right, guys, so this is how my boy came into the shop looking. You know, I've cut his hair one time before. He's actually a friend of one of my longtime clients. So, you know, he referred him over here. I greatly appreciate that. But this is how he came in, and this is how my man left the shop looking. I think he has one of the blurriest tapers right now. Like, he's probably, I know he's out there flexing on his homies, like showing them this haircut. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut in the comments, guys. If y'all like this video, please make sure to smash that like button. Also, if you're new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe one time for your boy. Y'all know how we doing it over here, guys. I got some more material dropping for y'all. But y'all stay subscribed, man. I'm trying to do a lot of different stuff, trying to do more giveaways. So y'all subscribe, like this video, comment, do all that good stuff. I appreciate y'all, YouTube. Until next time, let's go.